We spend so much of our lives trying to make the perfect plan, right? We try to map out every single step of the future. But what if the best parts of life are the ones that we never could have planned for? Today, we're diving into the surprising power we find when we just step off the map and embrace a little uncertainty. Just let that one sink in for a second. It's such a simple idea, but it's kind of profound, isn't it? The thought that the most incredible, life-changing moments might be waiting for us, but only if we're willing to let go of our super detailed ironclad plans.
So, I've got a question for you. How do you feel about the unknown? Are you the kind of person who needs a 5-year plan all neatly laid out, or are you okay with just kind of seeing where the road takes you? I think we're all taught to be a little scared of uncertainty, but what if the reward for leaning into it is way bigger than the risk?
Okay, so let's move away from the theory and jump into a real story. A story about a huge, high-stakes, life-altering choice. It's the perfect example of that pull between having a solid plan and knowing when you need to take a leap of faith. So picture this. You find a house, it's got potential for sure, but it's also got its fair share of problems. And the catch, to get it, you'd have to drain your bank account, like every single dollar you've managed to save. It is a massive decision, and every logical part of your brain is probably screaming, whoa, that's way too risky. So you're basically standing at a crossroads. Down one path, you keep the cash. That feels safe, right? It's there, it's in your account. But here's the kicker. It's almost a guarantee that its value is going to shrink over time. Then there's the other path, buy the house. It feels like a huge risk up front, but it has the potential to grow, to become something really valuable, to become a home. And this is where we get to the real aha moment of the story. Because it turns out that the so-called safe option, just waiting and holding on to that cash, it actually has its own hidden and very real cost. Here's the realization that changes everything. Your money isn't static. It's not just sitting there holding its value forever. In a way, it actually has an expiration date on its worth. And the culprit is a force we all know a little too well: inflation. What this really means is that the money you have today, well, it's going to buy you less stuff tomorrow and even less the year after that. So that safety of having cash in the bank, it's actually a slow, steady, guaranteed loss. And suddenly, the risky move of buying an asset, it doesn't seem so crazy anymore. In fact, it starts to look pretty smart. But let's be clear, this wasn't just a blind jump into the dark. It was what you might call a prepared leap. And that's the real art here, being spontaneously prepared. It means you've done the work, you've put in the hours, so when the right moment comes along, you're ready to act. See, a move like this isn't just a gut feeling. There's a framework behind it. First, you've got to do your homework. And I mean a ton of research to really understand what you're getting into. Second, you weigh the pros and cons and make sure the potential for greatness is just undeniable. Third, you build yourself up, your savings, your skills, your confidence. And then finally, when that perfect opportunity lines up with all your preparation, that's when you leap. And this totally redefines what we think of as spontaneous. It's not about being reckless or impulsive. It's actually the complete opposite. It's about being so prepared, so ready, that when the right moment shows up out of the blue, the decision feels, well, natural. It feels easy. You can act without a second thought because you've already laid all the groundwork. I love this quote because it just cuts right to the chase. At some point, all that preparation has to turn into action. You can't just keep piling up resources, whether that's money or knowledge or skills, and never actually use them for anything. When that unplanned opportunity shows up, you've got to be ready to answer the call. So, let's bring it all back to you. Now it's your turn to look around. Where is there an opportunity hiding for you? Maybe just on the edge of what feels comfortable, waiting there in that little bit of fog. And here we are, right back where we started, with this quote. But it feels different now, doesn't it? It has a much deeper meaning. It's not about having no plan. It's about having a plan that's written in pencil, not in permanent marker. One that's flexible enough to be completely rewritten when a better, totally unexpected opportunity comes knocking. And that, right there, is the real heart of it all. When you build your life with a little bit of wiggle room, when you leave space for the unexpected, you open the door to so much more. To joy, to real growth, to connections you never would have found if you'd stuck to the script. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. You've done the work, you've built your foundation, you've weighed the options. The only question left is, what is your next great leap?